Hello everyone, welcome back to a new replay cast. Today we're going to be having a look at a game, well, best of 3 played between Astrea and Trap. This one got recommended to me. I'm very curious to see what's going to be happening here. So we see Astrea move his first worker straight across the map, as Trap builds his first pylon on the low ground. Now, recently we've seen a big shift in the meta from basically 2-gate expands every single game to a lot of 1-gate expanding, and especially Trap has been a massive fan of that in almost all the games I've seen him play. He loves to play that 1-gate expand. Are you joking? So yeah, he opens gate first, just straight scouts to the left. I'm jeez, that's really bad for Astrea. So I'm not sure what the plan was here. I think it is possible that this could have been a 2-gate forge, or just a 3-gate or a 4-gate. I have seen a game between, I want to say, Billowy and Stats on Golden Wall, in which Billowy did a proxy 3-gate in a similar scenario, except Stats wasn't trying to 1-gate expand. Now, usually the theory with 1-gate expand is that I think if you play against any type of early aggression like that, especially with low ground walls, is that you just die. It's a really bad situation. So Trap, well, I'm not sure if it's luck, obviously he scouts there, but it's very fortunate for sure that he managed to get it out. I mean, Astrea can get a Zealot here, but the Zealot's already out for Trap now, so this situation is just all around pretty bad. I love that Trap is like, alright, I found your proxy. So now my plan is just a proxy, and you see the difference in core timing here. This core is about to finish up, and this core is barely halfway. Then on top of that, there's no gateway, so even when this core does end up finishing, the only thing really that Astrea can do with it is get a tech structure, which it needs to be a Stargate. So if we just go over the options real fast, if Astrea builds a Robo or a Twilight, he just simply won't be ready for well, I guess this is going to be an Oracle, right? I can't it could also be a Void Ray, actually. I mean, he's so far ahead in Cybercore timing, and because the gateway count is so low, I actually think I would prefer a Void Ray. An Oracle can get kinda stopped by a single battery, at least temporarily. So, you build a battery, the Oracle comes in, he starts shooting probes. Even if you have no Stalkers, you can overcharge your battery on top of that, and there's really nothing that the Oracle can do. Like, he's not going to be able to get anything. This is Trap's units. For a second I thought, why is Astrea attacking himself? But he doesn't have any units, so this pylon is going to fall. I mean, this situation just looks terrible all around here for Astrea. I'm just thinking what Astrea should be doing. I think the Stargate is the correct call. I mean, it's not getting spotted right now. This should be getting recalled, Astrea. Yeah, this should be a cancel on this pylon. He won't be able to afford it otherwise. That's very sloppy for two reasons. A, you don't want to be losing probes, and B, you don't want your Stargate to get spotted. Simple as that. I mean, Trap has seen it at this point, so he knows that there's a Stargate for Astrea. Trap's getting his own Void Ray right now. I mean, there's a single Stalker out for Astrea, like... Okay, I appreciate that Astrea has good micro, but if he managed to win one Stalker against one Void Ray, I think I'm gonna have to call him up and ask him for some tips and tricks, because I don't think that's actually possible. This game makes very little sense to me. Like, well, that's not true actually. Both of the strategies make a lot of sense. It's just, it then kind of turns into one of these weird scenarios. I honestly think Trap should just be taking out the Stalkers here. There's no battery done yet. Second Void Ray joins up as well. I mean, there's a Void Ray on the way here. I don't understand why he keeps focusing probes. Just take out these Stalkers. Yeah, now with the battery down, it's going to be harder, but I feel like he just kind of threw away a 100% win here. Well, not threw it away, but he's still up 5 workers. He's up a base. He has more Void Rays than his opponent. He's still winning really hard, but I feel like the game should have been over. Like, Astrea should have been back in the lobby. You know, back in the opening scene when you open StarCraft 2. That's where he should be right now, and that's not the case, so I'm a little bit surprised by that. I'm not too fond of that decision, honestly. See Astrea move back into his main base with the one Void Ray. I mean, he really can't do anything, right? getting this gateway repowered right now, but there's still 3 Void Rays at his side of the map. There's way better production on Trap side of the map as well. Reinforcing Void Ray. Was that the second one? Yeah. Second Void Ray gets picked off. I mean, everything was completely equal, except that this guy had an extra base and an Immortal on the way. So, yeah, it's pretty much game over from that point on. Now let's hop into game number 2. ASAP. Alright, here we are, game number 2. On Pillars of Gold, a map well renowned for its 1-gate expanding, and as the Trap tried to 1-gate expand last map, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't try to do the same thing here. Yeah, here we go. Gonna go for the low ground pylon. Now, what you do here is you get a low ground pylon with your probe, then you build your gateway and you go across with your gateway scout, making sure that you can block your opponent's natural. So you don't want your opponent to be doing the same thing. So you kind of want to get your opponent to either do a 2-gate expand or to do like a 1-gate expand where they have to build a zealot. Very often we see like a pylon block, sometimes even with a cybernetics core block right next to it, if the opponent stays on a single gate. The timing of this gateway is highly suspicious. This was a very fast gateway. I want to say this was a 13 gateway, 12 pylon. The only builds that I know with this are Proxy Stargate and Proxy Void Ray. So when you play 12 pylon, 13 gate, you're sacrificing a bunch of probes. Oh, it's beautifully shown here. 19 against 18 workers right now. And he already has a little less mining. A lot less money as well. You see the Nexus going down. But a way faster Cyber Core. Now, the faster Cyber Core is going to be shown even more by the fact that this is a Nexus before Core Expand, which is common, by the way, in PvP if you are going to be playing 1-gate expands. But this does mean that, I mean, the timing difference of any type of tech is going to be absolutely massive. I actually think Astrea messed up a little bit here. His Stargate is extremely late for being a 12-gate. Like, this Adept was already building for 8 or 9 seconds. So this Stargate is delayed by 8 seconds for no apparent reason whatsoever. Oh, we have a Zealot being built? No, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. You can only do this type of thing if the Stargate is very, very close. And then as Trap, you need to start building pylons here as well. You need to build pylons and batteries, because you're going to be fighting for basically this area, and it's going to be very important to take out these pylons. And actually, as Trap, you have a pretty decent shot, because Zealots have a very high DPS. I was going to say, unless there's an Adept, nothing actually does good damage against the Zealot. The Adept actually is extremely helpful here against this Zealot. It's cool to see some... this Adept is just going to get in. I mean, this is absolutely terrible for Trap now, I think. He's not really set up for it. He basically cut his tech timing and his follow-up gateway timing by getting that Zealot out, and achieved barely anything with it, honestly. I mean, he forced a battery over here, but... I mean, Astrea is already charging up on top of his pylon. I think that pylon is gonna go down, and I think Trap might just instantly lose. He's gonna lose. This is so sloppy micro. He's gonna get away for now. Second Void Ray is on the way. I think Astrea really messed up his build. I really think he did. It's supposed to hit way faster, like 6-7 seconds faster, but for some reason he got his Stargate too late, which kind of defeats the purpose of the build, honestly. Oh, super nice. He's kind of getting out microed here. Now he does get the lock on. He's gonna get the lock on the other Stalker as well once Stalker does fall. He wants a third Void Ray out. He's warping in an Adapt. We have what? 2 gates. Second gate on the way, third gate on the way as well here for Astrea. I'm not afraid for him because his worker count is pretty evil. He is still mining a little bit less, but he should be fine, right? It's 3 Stalkers against 3 Void Ray. He'd have to micro like an actual potato to lose this, but I've seen it happen though. No, actually I haven't. Not like this. Especially because he has batteries here as well, which you can kind of get back to. Battery overcharge gets used, doesn't get a void ray. I think if he gets a void ray there, with his battery overcharge, all of a sudden the game might actually be a little bit difficult. You get like 5-6 stalkers, maybe 6-7 stalkers against 3, because this one takes a while to get out still. Yeah, terrible adapt shape. Ah, a rookie move there by Trap. 6 stalkers, yeah, you would have had 6 against 3, which honestly is kind of fightable. You had 8 against 3. I feel like if Trap would have micro this slightly better, he'd be in a pretty good position. Now he's going to be losing this pylon, I guess. Astrea immediately charges up with this Void Ray. He's going to do a lot of damage. 4 Stalkers go down before a single Void Ray goes down and another 2 Stalkers go down. But these trades super in favor of Astrea, obviously. But this didn't look too close. But actually, I think it got really, really close. Just I don't know, this felt like almost got just a blind counter out of Astrea, being like, okay, if you're gonna 1-gate expand, I want to win, but then he messed up his Stargate timing a little bit, so a win is a win, but not the cleanest of games, I feel like. Alright, no time to waste, as these games have been insanely short so far, so every second wasted not talking about what's happening is, well, I don't think these games are lasting too long, so... we gotta spend every second we have together and spend it well. He's got a pylon coming down. Okay, no early pylons this time around. Trap is going for a pylon gate pylon wall, I think. Now I've seen this before. This was really popular back in the day. On maps where you had a backdoor expansion. We're talking Dusk Towers, Orbital Shipyard. This is early 2016, the first year of Legacy of the Void. There was one more map, which I just can't remember the name of right now, with a backdoor base, and this was extremely popular on there. So what you do is you wall ASAP to make sure your opponent can't get in, and then you just build the backdoor base very quickly as well. Usually you get your core first and then you get the backdoor base. Now in this case, why is he mining 2 different patches? He's really keen on getting these patches out. But yeah, like in this case he needs to mine these minerals and then go. The problem on this map is that the backdoor base is just reachable by mining out these minerals in the middle as the opposing Protoss player, so really you're not even that safe, honestly. I don't think you are, at least. But let's have a look to see what Astrea is doing. It's always interesting to see. He scouts it, and now he knows, okay, there's gonna most likely be a backdoor base. So what he'll do is he'll take out these minerals, maybe with this probe, maybe just using this probe as well. It's all possible, of course. Gonna be mining these 5 ascended. Yeah, okay, this one's gonna go forward. Just gonna mine out the next patch and then scout to make sure that there is indeed a nexus over here. Funny thing is, Astrea is actually gonna be expanding faster than Trap, because even though Trap has mined out these patches, like these 2 patches, and he blocked off fully, he's actually opening up with a robo first. It's such a weird play, honestly. This seems super unsafe against oracles, like super unsafe. Cybercore, chrono boosting warp gate. Astrea sees the nexus timing, and right now he should be going like, hey, wait a second. You played a single gate, you full walled. Why the hell is my nexus faster than yours? It seems like no such thought process is going on in his head, because he didn't actually go in to scout for the tech. And I don't know why he would not do that. He 100% should have scouted for the tech. This is a massive mistake, actually. Okay, 1 probe, I guess, dies over here. That was? Yeah, it was a probe. If he knows this is a robo, I don't think he would play 3-gate. I think he would be chronoing out workers. A prism first. I feel like I play greedy sometimes, but what Trap is doing here is absolutely insane. So what Trap scouts is a proxied pylon next to his base while playing a 1-gate expand into robo, and his instinct is to get a prism out before an immortal. That is so wild, honestly. Why does Astrea have so little Stalkers though? He played 3-gate opener and right now he's on... Okay, he's on 7 Stalkers. I feel like he could be on 2 more. He could be on 9. You get 6 Stalkers before Warp Gate finishes. I'm very confused by this build order. I feel like Astrea is playing very, very sloppy, perhaps a little bit nervous. Okay, should trigger the shield here on the Immortal. One shot does that, then you wait for a bit until the shield disappears. And then you can go in with the rest. I wouldn't mind seeing a sentry being warped in here. This is technically a ramp, which is very easily force fieldable. And there's no sentry yet though. Didn't quite activate the shell on the Immortal yet. Gets the activation now. Needs to micro these two back a little bit. Sentry not being warped in yet. In the meantime, 2 adepts. Was that with the Prism? I guess so, yeah. The 2 adepts with the Prism are in the main base. I mean, there's 2 Immortals at this point. It's going to be really difficult. Oh my god. Things go so fast when there's no shells remaining. Both of the Immortals actually are going to go down. Now this situation looks kind of okay for Astrea, honestly. It's still dangerous because the moment the next Immortal pops, his Stalker count is extremely low. He's warping in a Zealot. His mining is mediocre at best. I had to warp in some units at home as well to deal with these 2 adepts, which is not going too well, honestly. Prism returns back home. And now there's another Immortal. Only a single Zealot here. There's no quick warp in, meaning this is now a position that has been given up. I have a hard time seeing how Astrea gets out of here. And I think he has a hard time seeing how he gets out of here. He loses every single Stalker for free for no real reason. He's gonna get a second Immortal. I mean, Trap is just up. He literally has 3 times as much supply as Astrea and army supply. Astrea moves on the map with 3 Stalkers and a Zealot, but he knows there's a Prism out. I mean, what are you? You can't really meet your opponent in the middle of the map with an army like this, mate. There's no battery, no pylon going down. Pro production has been cut completely, which is probably the correct call, but... I think at this point Trap can just A-move without looking and win this game. I mean, it's 2 Immortals, there's 2 more Stalkers joining up in this fight as well. There's a bunch of sentries to be using Force Field or Guardian Shield. Force Field gets used, Immortal Barrier gets popped, but I mean, it's 4 Stalkers against 4 Stalkers. And then there's also 2 sentries and 2 Immortals, so it's just a pretty unfair fight. GG, and Astrea wins. Oh, sorry, Astrea loses the shortest series I've seen in quite a while. One of the shortest best of 3s that actually goes all the way. 3 matches and we're done in 16 minutes. So I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yeah, smash the like button. Hope so. See you all next time. Bye bye.